Do-do-do-do-do.
Is that the...
That's how the song goes, isn't it?
Yeah, da-da-da-da. Welcome to the AIR We Weeb. We're doing ReZero today. My name is Shauna.
Wait, is this for real? Did we start?
Yeah! Who are you?
Hello, I'm Weebus.
I'm Tim.
And I'm your friendly neighborhood, not a witch, but a half-elf ass.
As is a witch.
I thought that you were going to go with that you were back from the dead. That's what I thought.
No, that's a zombie. I'm not going to sing Family Force 5 because it will get me copyrighted.
In trouble.
Return to death.
Hey,
get demonetized on YouTube.
Weeb, do you have a Weebopsis to describe ReZero today?
I do not. Give me 2 seconds to think of one.
I'll write one right now. Time loops.
ReZero is about a guy who randomly gets sent to another world and decides to just not care about it and go along with it. And also he dies sometimes and then just comes back.
I mean, that's kind of a synopsis.
Yeah, it's not good.
Ah, well, we can't win them all.
That's good.
A high school NEET gets transported to another world where he falls in love with the half-elf girl, and he decides that he wants to save her life and finds out he can revive from the dead like a video game.
And unfortunately, he keeps dying over and over, and everyone else keeps dying over and over.
Until he doesn't have them die over and over.
That's the goal, but we aren't going to talk about anything like that now because this is not the spoiler section. So we're going to talk about our overall opinions first, and then we'll announce the spoilers. So Tim, what did you think about ReZero?
Oh man, it's such a complex anime. That's like the best way I can describe it. I think I liked it overall.
Yeah.
But oh my goodness, there's like so many highs and lows for this show that I think you should watch it. So I'm going to recommend it.
Yeah, I agree. I recommend it with the disclaimer that it can be really unsettling and disturbing sometimes. But I really love how it's written. I really love that it's like in these almost 4-episode arcs that are really satisfying. And yeah, the writing's super good. The characters will make you crazy. They'll make you not crazy. It's a crazy good time. It's one of my favorite isekais, I think.
It's my only isekai.
Really? It's your only one?
Yeah,
you're
I think so.
An isekai is an anime where a character is dropped into another world, and it's a very popular subgenre. ReZero is a very popular one, and it actually has season 2 coming out soon. We don't have a date for it, but soon.
Yeah, I just watched the trailer for it.
Oh yeah? How'd it look?
Good. I don't want to talk about it right now since we're not in spoilers yet, but
all right,
I'm excited
I will ask
for it.
Again later.
I think there's a movie, too.
Yeah, November.
Hey, Weeb, what did you think about the show?
I absolutely loved this show. I would have to say, other than My Hero, it's my favorite anime we've reviewed so far.
I think I would agree with that.
I think it's in my top 5 favorite anime ever.
Wow. Big words from Weebus.
I had a good time watching this show.
I can't wait to do Overload. Then we're 3 out of the 4 of the quartet.
What?
What did you think?
Isekai, you mean?
Yeah, Isekai Quartet.
Let's do
I like
SAO.
this show. It's a good show. No, we're not doing SAO.
Shut up, Weeb.
Yeah, you should watch it. It can be cute, it can be terrifying, it can be slightly craze-inducing.
I really like how original it is. It feels like everything's really original. The characters feel really fleshed out and interesting, and everyone has a purpose. It is a pretty good time. For once, I don't have complaints about the writing.
Fun fact, it's adapted from a web novel.
Oh, interesting.
They then rewrote into a light novel and refined some things, and then it became an anime, according to everything I found.
You know what was really interesting? I think the way that the music could just kind of change the tone to being super creepy, like the music and the animation. Things would be going fine, and then it'd be like, whoa, and it would just get so creepy. I don't know, I haven't had an experience with another anime that kind of can go from light to creepy to unsettling the way this one can.
Music on the show is so
the
good.
differences in the tone can just go from one thing to the complete opposite in a snap of a finger.
And it still
also
works.
Doesn't feel jarring, yeah.
Yeah, it works, which is really an incredible achievement, so good job to them. Since everyone has basically recommended it, I think, we can move into the spoiler section. We're going to talk about all the things we did and didn't like. So if you haven't seen the show, either don't listen to us or don't care that we're ruining it for you.
Run as fast as you can.
Run. I'm supposed to give a synopsis of what happens in the show. I don't really want to go too deep into it. Basically, it follows Subaru Natsuki, who is a NEET, which means neither employed or seeking education or training. And so he basically plays video games and hangs out in his apartment all day. And one day he's going to the convenience store and he just gets zapped into another world that there's all these different creatures and it's like a fantasy land. And he ends up dying pretty quickly and he finds out that he resets when he dies. But this happens, but what's really cool is that if he makes it to a certain point, he makes it to a save point. So he'll restart at a new point instead of having to go all the way back to the beginning all the time. I would have been driven crazy if he had to go all the way back to the beginning all the time. But he basically finds out that this girl that he has immediately fallen in love with, named Amelia, is a candidate to become the next ruler of the nation. And it becomes his goal to help her become the next ruler / protect her, because there's a lot of people who want her dead because she resembles an ancient evil known as the witch that everyone hates and has incredible prejudice against.
But also the rival future rulers.
Yes, they also hate her. So he basically decides that he wants to keep her alive and the members of her household alive. And that is the whole show, is him just over and over basically either directly causing their deaths or trying to prevent their deaths and just trying to get to the next save point and slowly losing his mind as he does it. Eventually at the end, we make it to the end of sort of the biggest conflict of the season, and they're all alive. He's done it, but we still don't know anything about the witch, anything about who's going to be the next ruler. And basically there's a ton of content that is ready for the next season, which is really exciting. If there wasn't another season, I would have been a little bit upset about how it ended.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a really good season overall, and the fact that it has all of these mini arcs that are super, super terrifying and awesome is really compelling. So that's my synopsis. Thank you, everybody.
I would like to rename the show to ReZero, Suffering in Another World.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite elements, is how much psychological affect trauma he actually goes through, because you would if you were dealing with what he's dealing with.
Like when we're in the spoiler section, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Like when he's like running away from the whale and he's screaming, "I don't want to die, I don't want to die."
No, that made me mad.
So many times. That made you mad?
Yeah, because okay, right before that, Rem just died, and so I'm like, why wouldn't you want to die? Because if you die, you restart and she's alive again. So he's like basically saying like, I don't know, he's valuing his own life over trying to bring back Rem in that.
I had that thought a couple times when people died. I'm like, just die real quick,
just go
so that you can
kill
save them
real quick.
But
I'm pretty sure I said that in the group chat. I was like, why doesn't he just kill himself right now?
Yeah.
I mean, he killed himself one time.
Yeah, he did it once, but like. Yeah. I think because of how the show works, we're really underestimating the idea of dying here.
I guess.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too pleasant.
What I liked about it is the realism of how awful dying was and how terrifying it was, like every single time. So he never took it lightly. Like he was always terrified of the pain, always terrified of dying, always scared that he wouldn't come back this time. And like I think that brought a lot to the show. It was like a really necessary human element. What would you say is like the best part of the show? Like what made the show for you, Tim?
Probably the characters. This show has some of the most interesting characters that we've seen so far, especially with Rem, Ram, Amelia even, then Puck, and everybody basically involved. Felt. I love Felt, but she is not my best girl. Hint, hint. But yeah, I think just the characters, the art is really good. And the dialogue, like the voice acting, is really strong.
Yeah. Weeb?
I gotta go with the characters too. Like not every, some of the characters were awful. No character was written awfully though.
Yeah.
You know, like all the characters were written very well, very consistently. And I would say most of them I really, really liked and could relate to.
Yep. As?
I think I'd agree. The world's pretty cool too.
Yeah, the world building is really strong.
I think my favorite thing is the way that it honors Subaru's experience and how it always keeps you guessing, and how like the writing is really good and the characters always stay true to character. I think just in general, just how they did the show in general is just really impressive. It was not an easy thing to do, and they did it. I'd say that, like, for me, the beginning is what lagged the most. This was my second time watching it, so I was like, I found the beginning a little bit slow, but like watching through it again was like, wow, this is like a masterclass in character growth, character building, and really stripping characters down to the essence of what they are. Because we got to see really who Subaru was, like, for the good and the bad of it. Because I'm sure...
So much bad.
Yeah, so much bad. But you understand why every time he's awful.
Sometimes.
But that brings us to the worst points of the show. Was it Subaru being awful?
It's definitely up there. He's just so frustrating because, I don't know, he can be really annoying, first off. Especially how he reacts to things sometimes.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't make smart decisions sometimes, or like what he says is really stupid. So
yeah,
especially in the beginning, but by the end he's okay, and he kind of learns and he grows. So
I think it's a good thing that he's so stupid in the beginning. Like it shows his growth. Like he got so much better. I don't think they could have made him grow that much if he wasn't that stupid in the beginning.
I don't know. I think I had problems with how like he wouldn't explain things to everybody else really well.
Yeah, he would just get mad at them. It made me so angry for like what a massive epic jerk tool he was for shouting at Amelia basically that she owes him, and that he literally said, and I quote, "Amelia is hopeless without me because I care about her so much." And it's like, you are an insane person. You do not own this girl. Like, you are crazy. Like, he made me so angry sometimes about just like how especially with Amelia, because like he flash fell in love with her, and then he thinks he has this ownership over her, and I get that he's trying to save her life, but it was like, whoa, stalker crazy much? Sometimes it was ridiculous.
I'm not saying that he's a good guy. He's an ass, but
he tries.
Like, he does have so much growth, and I think him being such an idiot, like such an asshole, is important to his growth. Like, he needs to be bad.
From a narrative perspective, it didn't make me angry because it was good writing. It was like, wow, you're a horrible person. But from like a personal perspective, actually seeing him say these words to a girl who doesn't understand what's going on, like, was like a rip your hair out angry kind of like moment. Like that whole episode where they're having that he and Amelia have their big fight in the bedroom, and she's basically saying, you never tell me anything, I don't understand what's going on, and he's just like, you need me, you're nothing without me. And it's just like, what is wrong with you? And I understand he's like breaking because he's like losing his mind through repeating everything, but it's also just like,
is he actually breaking?
It's hard to watch, but it's necessary to the show, so I don't think it's a bad part of the show.
Yeah, no,
it's just bad to watch.
Yeah, it's just painful.
It sucks. That whole I told you guys yesterday when I think Weeb was watching it that whole like episodes like 14 to 17 I think was just like some of the worst that I couldn't watch. It was just so frustrating and annoying. He keeps coming back and he's just in despair. He has had a breakdown and I'm just like, dude, just like figure it out. Like, it's not that hard.
Yeah, I was just mad that he just didn't listen to Amelia ever. She was like, please don't follow me. And he's like, I'll follow you. And she's like, please don't come into the royal hall and embarrass me. And he comes into the royal hall and shouts in front of everybody and embarrasses her. And it's just like, please stop.
Okay, here's what I'm really confused about. What's up with Puck? Like, what the hell was that?
Like an ancient spirit.
Yeah, Puck is...
but...
Did you get that Puck was that massive thing that killed him twice?
Yes, but why did Puck kill him? It wasn't really his fault, I don't think.
Puck doesn't care about anything but Amelia.
Exactly, and Subaru was supposed to be on Puck's side with helping Amelia stay alive. So Amelia's dead, so he's like, you're dead too.
He said he broke his promise to her a couple times.
Yeah.
That, I guess.
Puck literally explains it, man. Come on.
But I think it's really cool that we saw that like true form of his. So huge and powerful, and then you understand why in the beginning when you first meet him that the other characters are afraid of him.
Yeah.
It's because they know that's what he is, basically.
I also think it gives us a lot to look forward to in terms of learning why Puck and Amelia have this bond, like their backstory. It makes it really interesting, and I hope we'll get into that in season 2, because you're like, why is this massive, like,
I think
godlike spirit?
The next movie that they're releasing is going to go into that.
That would be awesome.
Here's what I want to know, though. If Puck is so, like, all-powerful, how did Amelia die so many times?
Puck can't...
He's always asleep, I think.
Yeah. There's, like, a contract, and, like, to keep his form, he can't keep it up or something, unless he's released.
But
not exactly how it works.
Like, remember
it's not explained that well.
In the loot house, like, Amelia died once, and Puck was there.
Well, he was asleep.
Puck was asleep.
What? I thought Puck was awake.
No, he went into the crystal before she went into the loot house. He was like, okay, don't let anything bad happen. She's like, see you later, and then she dies.
Oh. Okay, but also, the next time she dies, when she's, like, in that, like, ice safe room, Puck wasn't asleep.
I don't think she
then.
died then.
Oh, was she safe in the safe room?
Yeah. He, like, froze the outside of it so nobody could get in. And that's when Subaru dies.
I thought she died. I thought she died, but I could have been
we saw
wrong.
her pin. We saw her pin and, like, all this stuff from her and all blood. Like, a ton of blood.
Yeah, I think she died. Because, again, I think they got attacked at night when Puck sleeps.
Then why
it's
was
like
Puck
been a planned
awake?
attack.
Remember,
why was
no
Puck
one
awake
but
the next time.
No one but Subaru knew that the witch's cult was coming, and Roswell wasn't there to protect them. And technically, it's Roswell's job to, like, protect everybody.
Yeah, that's another character that I want to find out more about, because he seems really kind of, like, suspicious. Like, he seems really powerful, but he's also that kind of goofiness, like almost like the Shinigami from Soul Eater.
Yeah, and
where
when
they're
he's
kind
like
of deceiving people.
Guy.
And when he's, like, holding Rom in his lap and being all creepy, and, like, you're, like, wondering what his motives are, why he wants Amelia on the throne, like, what is going on there.
Yeah, because everybody, when they do the whole selection ceremony, they're like, oh, he's supporting her? Like, why? And there must be some reason.
We'll probably get more.
Hopefully.
Back on the Puck thing, can we talk about how good the ending of episode 15 is?
You'll have to remind me what that is.
That's the one where he, like, the first time Puck, like, bursts out of the castle, like, the mansion.
I love that ending.
Oh, yeah, and
And
he
it,
just
like-
decapitates him and then hard cuts.
Oh,
Yes!
oh, that
It
is
so good.
No, it doesn't hard cut.
Or no,
it just
it rolled
it
credits.
rolls the credits,
It's the
and
best
during the
credits.
credits, the snow, like, just builds up.
Yes.
It was
So good.
so good.
I wrote that in my
It's
notes.
one of my favorite parts. Yeah.
I watched that whole end. Like, literally, I just watched the credits roll by.
Well, that's good because there's an after credit scene.
It was
Yeah.
so good.
That was a really good shot in general.
Now, just imagine watching this as it was coming out week to week, and that was the end of the episode for the week. You had to wait a whole week.
What?
Well, I mean, the after credit scene is him waking up again and holding hands with Rem, so it's less like but it's still pretty.
Okay, well, since
Still
we're
very
we're on that specific scene, he says something that confused me. That he says she's his daughter.
Yeah, Puck calls Amelia his daughter, and I don't understand why. That's another thing I want to learn.
Yeah, it's more like a bond thing, I think.
Are you sure?
I don't think she's literally his daughter. But also, I'm making a lot of assumptions based on my view of how elves and spirits
Yeah, she's
work.
a half-elf, so I feel like that could be some sort of lore thing.
I think it's like an adoptive daughter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
You
probably
don't know
find
enough
out
about elves?
more from that movie.
All right, we're moving on to a very hot topic, and it is the best ship.
The best shit.
Yeah, best ship.
Wilhelm and his wife.
Aw.
Who?
Can we talk about how
Sword
annoying
Saint
it is?
lady and the sword butler dude.
It's annoying that
yes, I
I
agree.
hated that Wilhelm beat her once. Like, what the heck? Why did he beat her? She was the chosen swordsman. How did he beat her?
Because he knew she didn't like it,
hard.
and he wanted to kind of take that from her so she could do what she wanted to do, I think.
But she didn't. She stayed the swordsman, and then she was killed by the whale. So it doesn't make any sense that he beat her. Like, I that's a big qualm I have. I don't understand that.
Is the Sword Saint like a title that you earn? I thought it's a title you just, like, you're blessed, so you're given it.
Yeah, she's blessed with it. It can't be
born
taken
into
from
it.
her. So
Yeah.
there's no way he could have beat her, and he did. And I was like, wow, that ruins this whole dynamic for me.
Shauna, I don't think you
Well-
understand hard work. He worked hard, and then he got good, and he was the
So-
best.
Like,
But
come
he
on.
wasn't. She was better than
totally let
him.
him win.
Yeah, I think she let him win.
True love. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, but
He proposed mid-fight, and that's how he won.
You know, it was
Won her
annoying.
heart.
I didn't like that we never got to see like older her, like what she looked like when she died. Like we only ever got to see them when they met. I wanted to see what she looked like when she died, like fighting the whale.
maybe she died young.
Maybe.
Yeah, we're not giving too much about that story, unfortunately. I wonder if
They're
it
not
was-
my best ship though.
I don't
Who's
think
Who's your
best
best
ship?
ship, Sean?
What?
My best ship is I want Subaru and Rem to be together.
You're
Well,
wrong.
let me tell you, there's a whole entire thing called the If chapters, and there's an entire section about Rem and Subaru running away together and making a family.
Yeah, that was in
Here's
the anime.
the thing. Here's the deal. I
We
just
talked
feel
about
like
it wasn't the actual.
Subaru idealizes Amelia. He doesn't actually know her. He has no grounds for his love.
I have
but-
theories.
But Rem and Subaru have actually been through the ringer together over and over and over again, and she's the one who looks past him being an idiot all the time, and she's the one who's there to protect him, and it's just
That's
like,
because Rem's best girl.
yeah,
Actually,
I
not
think-
my best girl.
I think
Who
he's
is?
just butthurt that Rem killed him.
what we.
He's still upset that Rem killed him a few times.
I don't
I
think
don't
he cares
no,
about that
he's
at all.
Totally not.
No, I don't think so either. But
Also, that was
and
really
he's obsessed with
unclear.
Amelia.
I feel like that was really unclear. I didn't understand really why Rem killed him in that
Oh,
arc.
I have an explanation for this. Because he smells like the witch, so she thought he was an enemy. He was
Okay.
after Amelia.
It was just a simple
Yeah,
thing
she
like that.
thought
Got it.
he was like moving in on her sister, and she was worried for her.
Okay, that makes sense.
Remember, yeah, they had the whole thing with their whole backstory is the witch's cult came and
I wish we got to see more of Reinhardt because he was maybe my second favorite character.
Hey, we're on best ship right now. Reinhardt is not invited.
Weeb's best ship is Reinhardt and him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Reinhardt and me. Best
Reinhardt
ship.
and Felt would have been a good choice.
No, Reinhardt and me.
Okay.
I feel like that
Tim.
age difference is a little too much.
How old is he?
It's not war.
It's war.
It's not war though.
It's war.
There's no war going on.
Yes, there's a witches' war is brewing.
A witch's war is brewing. That's a good title.
Thank you. Tim, who's your best ship?
Well, I think the obvious one is Rem and Subaru, but I'm gonna go with Krush and Julius.
Oh, do you think they're a thing?
No.
Nah, I don't think so,
Yeah,
but
I
it
don't-
could. I'd like to see it. I think they'd be a good couple.
How do you say her name? Is it like Cruche? I thought it was
Cruche.
Cruche.
I think they just call her.
Krush?
Well, in the sub they call her Krush-sama, so I just
Oh.
shortened it to Krush.
Okay, Tim, I disagree with you, and here's why.
He doesn't
Let's
like
hear it.
Julius.
I don't like Julius, and
But
Krush is my best girl.
Okay, Krush is my best girl.
No, she's
As
mine.
well.
You can't have her.
No, I already used her for my
Mine.
ship. So,
Well,
but Julius, he has good arc.
fight.
He has a good arc.
Yeah, Julius isn't the worst.
Okay, no, yeah, Subaru's in
He
the wrong.
comes
on that
across
one.
as the worst because we see him only from Subaru's point of view, but and they become friends.
Yeah, like
Well,
when they become
technically,
friends.
Subaru shouldn't have come in and claimed to have a title, a legit, like, almost royal title. that
Subaru
doesn't
shouldn't have done a
belong to
lot of
him.
things.
He's so entitled. He just thinks
Yeah.
like, he can have everything.
So I was reading some on the wiki, which I don't think they go over at all in the show, but like Subaru has this whole backstory that they just don't ever talk about. So
What is
Enlighten
it?
us.
So basically, his dad's like amazing at everything, and everyone loves him and idealizes him. So like Subaru grew up idolizing him, and like he was also really good at everything in like elementary school, and then he hit middle school, and then he realized everyone else was better than him, and then he started getting all sad like, and then he became a NEET, and yeah.
Aw.
Hmm.
So basically, the reason Subaru's entitled is because he developed a crazy complex from when he was in elementary school.
And
have
he
a
has an
question.
inferiority complex, too.
Yeah, he's got both.
I have a question about neats.
Yes.
How does that work? You just don't work and don't do anything, but somehow have an apartment to go back to play video games?
Parents probably pay for it.
Oh, I see.
He plays video
Or
games. He's like
maybe-
really good at video games, isn't he?
I just didn't see how the lifestyle was sustainable. without a job.
I think they have some form of unemployment aid in Japan.
Okay.
It's the Japanese
very
way
common.
of saying that you live in your parents' basement and they pay for everything. We don't have a word for it. That's their word for it.
That's not even their word. That's actually from Europe
Yeah, but they use it the most. I never
now,
hear
yes.
anyone from Europe use it.
anymore.
Back to Julius. He has a stupid name. Julius Euclius. I cracked up every time I heard them say it. The whole thing.
Wait,
Look at
what's
this.
his
Is
name?
the whole
Julius?
thing?
Julius Euclius.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It is still stupid.
Is it better than Beltagis Romani Conte?
Beetlejuice?
No,
Beetlejuice.
it's Betelgeuse.
Okay,
Well,
I'm
it's
not
geese.
saying that. It's Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
That's not how they say
Betelgeuse.
it, though.
Okay, but like
Geese.
that's what it is.
Beltagis.
That's
That's
what
not-
it's supposed
that's
to
not
be,
it.
I think. Oh, that's how they say it.
He's like Bagel Goose.
Because it's
Except
spelled
apparently
like it.
Bagel
Let's
Goose.
call him Bagel Goose.
I
Bagel.
can get
Well,
behind
Bagel
that.
Goose is a Monster Hunter monster whose name is very similar.
Bagel Goose was so terrifying in that
He is
witches.
the worst character of all
Yeah,
time.
in the
I-
witches cult cave
That's
scene,
what-
like that was so disturbing. I was like, has this turned into a horror anime? Because
Yeah.
I am
What makes
horrified.
him
I
such a
couldn't-
good
when
villain?
I was watching that, I went in the group chat and I went full
Yeah,
cats and
he was mad.
started screaming. I was pissed. I was
Good
pissed.
villain makes you angry at
No,
them.
I was pissed at the writers for making us watch that happen to Rim because I really like Rim, and then they just like did that to her right in front of us, and I was pissed.
That's what you can do when you can reset the whole
It was
world. You can go
awful.
as dark as you want.
I
There's a
hated it.
bunch
Also,
of if
for
stories
the
that are
listeners-
apparently like that.
So
where
Bagel-
Him-
Subaru just goes murderous.
So Bagel Goose has this power where he can
Bagel
like
Goose.
do these hands, and then like he can like
The authority of sloth, yeah.
The
rip people
unseen
apart.
hand.
Yeah, so what he did is he like picked up Rim in the air and like started twisting her limbs around and like
How
broke
does she
her neck.
move after that?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
know. She like squirms.
Willpower.
Yeah. Hard work.
Ah,
Here's the thing.
So bad.
Did you guys notice that we're back to the 7 deadly sins being used in an
Yes.
anime yet again?
Right away.
Japan is
Yeah.
obsessed with them.
I
know.
know.
We
It's so
we
crazy.
should
Called the
Seven
Witch of
Deadly Sins.
Envy. Which, by the way, why does she love Subaru?
Does she love Subaru? I don't know. I feel like okay, do we think that the
Why
witch
does
brought,
he get the power?
did the witch bring Subaru to the land to use him?
I think
That's
so.
what I don't know. Did she bring him, or does he get the
Well,
power somewhere along the way?
We know that her goal is to take over Amelia. So maybe she's using him to get to her.
Okay, but why would she use someone from a totally different world? And does she even have power in our world? Or just that one? Like there's too many unknowns to be sure about anything.
I'm wondering, because
It's probably some like interdimension magic
First-
stuff.
the first like life, I guess we'll call it. That's the one where he says likes the name Satella.
Mm-hmm.
There's a very possibility that accepting her name is what gives him the power, and then he's brought for a different reason. I don't know. That's just a
Wait,
theory.
so you
in my
think
head.
Here's
was
another
brought there
thing,
and
though.
then
Here's
given the
another thing. Bagel Goose says many times that Subaru is Pride. Pride is the only person who hasn't showed up yet, and Subaru has got to be Pride. So that makes me wonder, like, was Subaru brought to this world to be Pride?
I think so.
Who can say?
He could be an
But also-
archbishop.
I
don't
sort of
think
spoiled
he
some
is
things for me,
Pride.
so I'm gonna shut up.
I think he could be Pride, but I don't think he'll end up being Pride. I think he's gonna
Yeah,
be
I
the
agree. I think he'll choose another path, but my idea is maybe the witch has brought him to be Pride into the
Yeah.
realm,
Oh
basically.
man, I
I
hope so
can see
because in 7 Deadly Sins, Pride is the best.
Well, so when he first gets to the world, he is kind of the worst, and I can totally see how he could turn into Pride.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Because he is very prideful.
Well,
Can
he
we?
literally just like busts in and goes, "I'm a knight," and it's like, "No, you're not."
I have a question. So the final Bagel Goose scene where Bagel Goose's spirit thing is crawling after the wagon.
Yeah.
Dude.
What the
Yeah.
frick? How
Yeah,
did
it's so weird.
how did Subaru defeat Bagel Goose by just writing characters in a book? I don't understand.
I
I think
did
that
like
was
that.
just symbolic.
Here's what I don't understand: we saw a boulder fall on Bagel Goose and crush him.
Yeah, he's crushed when
even-
he's chasing after him. That's why he's moving with the hands. His body
Okay.
is all broken.
Okay,
It's just
okay.
sheer willpower.
It's
Okay.
it's just
Well, yeah,
his
I
magic
can get
holding him
behind
together.
willpower.
It's
That's why
not
his
even
whole
his
body's
body.
wrapped up.
It's not even his body. That's why when what Otto or whatever his face is who's driving the carriage, if he looks back, he'll see nothing.
Yeah.
It's just the power of the hands that is moving Bagel Goose's spirit.
I loved when he was flying and the kids looked up and he was just like hurled up in a ball flying through the air.
But seriously, though, if they couldn't kill him all those times, how did Subaru kill him by basically setting him on fire and showing him a book? I don't understand.
It's
I
because
think he was
they
so close to
revere
death already.
they revere that gospel so much. So when he basically wrote in it, it's kind of like
Desecrated it.
yeah.
But what did he write? They didn't give us a
I think he
subtitle.
just wrote that he dies.
And yeah, he wrote the end/finished.
Yeah.
Oh, did
He
he?
says that.
Yeah, they
It didn't, and it didn't.
It did.
Did your version not say that?
No, it didn't. I
Oh.
couldn't see it.
Mine
It did
said
say
like he holds it
something.
up and he says finished in quotation marks,
It said, like,
symbolizing
"You're
oh that's what he
finished,"
Mine
wrote
did
there.
too.
No, I didn't see it.
Did anyone watch any of the dub? Because I didn't. I watched it all subbed.
I
I
tried.
watched
Did it-
both.
But guys, very important thing. Beatrice's voice actor is 2B's.
What?
What?
2B from Nier. All the weebs out there will get it. Not you guys.
Yeah, not me.
The losers.
No, I just didn't
Yeah,
hear what
no,
you said.
TV
What did you
is-
say?
2B.
Okay, maybe I don't know what you're saying.
Android girl. Nier Autonoma.
Yeah, Beatrice.
Yeah, no, I'm lost. You lost me.
Beatrice
Beatrice
is
is 2B. Confirmed.
I
Awesome.
like Beatrice. She's awesome.
yeah.
I
She was
suppose.
okay.
It's great.
It bothered me how much she said I suppose.
That's
Oh, I
her.
love
That's
it.
her thing.
Bothers
like-
me that she's a lolly.
I've seen animes where people like repeat stuff. Like even in Naruto, like Naruto himself says believe it all the time. But she would say I suppose after literally every single sentence.
Because she supposes every single thing she says.
There's
It bothered me.
kind of like the Mathers guy. What's his name? The Lord.
Matters.
Yeah, kind of like him. I feel like there's more to her that we don't know about.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
excited to learn about Beatrice
Beatrice
a lot.
seems like outworldly almost.
Yeah, she seems like a spirit.
Yeah, she seems like a
Because doesn't she
spirit to
say
me.
that Puck is like her brother or something?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think she's more
Ooh.
powerful than we have seen so far.
Yeah.
I really liked it
'cause-
when she made the promise to Subaru to protect him and then went like hardcore protecting him. That was awesome.
Yeah, when
Mm-hmm.
like Ram and Mathers attacked her.
Yeah.
You guys
I
want
loved-
the answer?
I loved
No,
when
Okay.
no. I loved when he ran out of the room and then there was just a big explosion. Like you knew something was about to go down, but you didn't know quite what. And then like the whole place just explodes, and it's like yes,
Also, it was
that's
so
exactly
funny.
what I wanted.
It was so funny how he always managed to pick the right door she was behind.
I liked
Just
that too.
randomly was able to find her every time, and she was
Yeah.
always like, "How are you doing this?"
he says it because of all the video games he's played. He's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
super good at that kind of thing.
I think I found the actual reason.
Yeah, I loved how easy it was for him too, because he would just walk in knowing it was gonna be her.
Yeah.
It's just like, eh,
Can we talk about the whale stuff?
Yes.
Yes.
let's
Okay.
talk about the whale.
Because the whale stuff
Such
is
a good
awesome.
ending.
It's so good. Like the whole fight with it, I loved.
I loved everything about the whale. The only qualm I have with anything about the whale stuff is that it was super unclear when the fog made someone erase, because I felt like the fog touched all kinds of people and didn't erase them.
Well, the fog that's everywhere is different from the fog it like shoots.
I
Yeah.
know, but it wasn't clear. Like,
No, it's only when they're like being chased and you see it like billow out like directly at
yeah,
them.
I felt like it was more clear towards the end, but it wasn't at the beginning. But that first time when he's talking to the guy in the carriage beside him, and then he turns around and the other guys are like, "There was no carriage beside you," is like terrifying.
Here's what
Yeah.
I don't get. Here's what I don't understand. Why did he remember?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the thing.
Yeah, I wrote that in my
Oh.
notes too.
Yeah, I don't
Is-
understand why he remembered, but no one else did. And it's like, what
Is
makes
okay,
him
here's a
special?
question. Is it because he is affiliated with the witch and
Yes.
these mob beasts
And the whales were
are
made by the whale,
affiliated
or-
with the witch, so they're like the
Oh,
same kind?
It could
Didn't
be
they
that.
say in the show that she made the mob beasts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the witch
Yeah.
made the whales. So
Yeah, that's why they chase him, because he smells like her.
Mm.
So
yeah,
that
maybe
has to
that's
be
why.
it. That it has to
Yeah.
be that he can see through it because it's the same power that he has inside him.
Oh, and it's
Same
the same reason you can see the hands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
And that's also
makes
just
sense.
like the whale's attack. It makes people forget you even existed. Like that's terrible.
That's
when
awful.
you think about it, right? Because the witch has the power to basically rewind and reset time. So, like, taking someone like away from existence kind of makes sense.
Here's what I want to know though, like how would you erase, like when Rem died, how would you erase Rem from Ram's memory? Like
They're erased from existence.
Yeah,
like they never
stop
existed.
existing. Yeah.
but then wouldn't Ram's life be totally different?
Yes.
Sort of, but not technically, yes, because of butterfly effect, but the way the whale works, no.
Yeah.
Like Rem and Ram were together literally their entire lives, never like
It
apart.
keeps...
Yeah, if it was
Okay, the whale's weird.
I feel like you
if
can't
it was
just
like
erase...
completely realistic, it wouldn't be
Yeah.
the same. It'd be completely
but
different.
the way the whale works is it keeps the events the same, but erases the existence of the person from those events. It's weird. It's its own special.
It's still
time
cool.
rules.
Just shut up,
Yeah.
Weeb. Stop pointing
You
it
know
out.
the one freaking episode that the entire episode was Subaru having a breakdown talking to Rem outside on that balcony / rooftop /
Oh, yeah.
overlook thing,
Yeah.
and he's basically talking about like how
Forever.
much forever he's talking about how much he hates himself and like how depressed he is and how awful everything is, and that was a full 25 minutes.
I know. I was so mad. I was like, it's a
Was
good
that really a
speech
whole episode?
that Rem has, but it just goes on way too long.
You think so? I think that's actually a pretty good episode. Besides
You know what?
it being
I
mostly
liked-
for budget reasons.
I liked that it got really into how depressed he was. It just kind of like how quickly he snapped out of it and solved the problem at hand was a little unbelievable with how depressed he was, but I liked seeing how depressed he was.
Well, remember, Belt of Goose even said
Bagel Goose.
Just say it
Goose
wrong
is
every
a
time.
giant flying plane monster to me, so we'll cover that some other time.
Yeah, like uh-huh.
But yeah, he like even like calls him out. He's like, you're like faking it, right?" I wonder how like how actual that is. Was Subaru actually faking?
Faking what? I don't
Mind
understand
broken?
what you're talking about.
No, I think Beetlejuice was legit crazy, and then he sees Subaru, who
So yeah, he's
who
like,
feels like
you're feigning.
he's probably like early stages of crazy.
I think.
What are you guys
He was
talking
basically
about?
you don't when they're in the cave.
No, and he has him
Has him
chained
chained
up,
up.
and he's
Oh,
talking
yeah,
to him.
no. I don't think that he's faking.
No, I think he's
don't think
legitimately
he's
like in
dramatizing.
despair.
Yeah, he's losing it. He just hasn't quite lost it yet, so Bagel Goose is like mocking him. Because he's like, you have not yet, like, you're not insane, not
You're not
truly.
on my level.
Did
Yeah.
anyone else like hate the scene where Jeezelboos licked his eyeball?
Oh
Yeah,
yes, that was
It's
so
meant
gross.
to make you uncomfortable.
that made
yeah.
me hurt on the
I
inside.
hated that, but also,
Also,
okay.
It's supposed to be. You're supposed to hate everything about this character. That's why.
I
you
did. His chews on his
Gazzlegoose
fingers.
Really,
Ew, his
like,
finger
his
chewing.
animation was so good.
Yeah.
Like whoever animated, oh, how can I say his name?
Whoever
this
spent
time?
hours animating a guy licking someone else's eyeball,
Uh,
good on you. You
They were
deserve a raise or
dedicated.
two.
I have to say that the dub, he was very horrifying in the dub as well.
Really?
Yeah,
his
I watched both the dub and the sub, and he was, like, it was a good job in the dub.
his voice acting was really good, even though he was despicable and I hated him. I know. I was eating when I first met him, and I
He
was
might
like, I have
be-
to stop.
He might be my least favorite anime character ever.
Which makes him a good villain.
It does, but I don't think I've ever hated someone as much as I hate him.
I'm just wondering, like, he's the only archbishop we've seen. What if we like? What are the other ones like?
Yeah.
If they're anything like him, I didn't understand the fingers part too. That confused me.
What about it?
Why he had fingers?
Yeah, like that just kind of got like they didn't explain it. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, he has
Just
these
sort of
clones.
kept with his themes, like his themes.
Oh, so
hands
that's
and
specific
fingers.
to him?
Yeah.
They don't all
I
have
have
fingers.
no idea. I don't know if it's specific to him. I'm just saying, like, it fits in his theme that he'd call them his fingers.
Yeah.
I bet all of the Sin Archbishops have, like, followers, but, like, they have a different way of handling things. Because I think that the idea of his fingers, how they could, like, whoosh in and move kind of like his unseen hands, that was all him.
Question. You
Yes.
think the witches cult is actually following the witches, like, will? Or are they just sort of feigning?
I think so.
I don't think that the witches cult knows what the witches' will is.
Yeah.
I think that she lets them be and she's always prepared to use them, but I don't think that the gospel tells them what to do, and I don't think that just what we know of her, it just seems like she's the puppet master. No one else knows what's going on. She's not going to let anyone else know. And they just follow her in adoration and just do what they feel the pull to do. And I think that she probably pulls them in certain directions, but they probably also do chaos that has nothing to do with her, but in her name.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Did you guys like the character designs? Like the
Yeah.
outfits and stuff?
I
they're
love
pretty
that Amelia was in a lot of different outfits. I loved that. I loved how they did her hair differently sometimes. She was adorable.
Oh, that reminds me of the ending, but I'll bring that up when we get there.
Yeah,
Bring it
Amelia
up now.
was really good. Subaru, though, seriously lacking. He was in that stupid tracksuit the whole show.
It's just his tracksuit.
I like it. I like the
But,
tracksuit.
Yeah, it's supposed to show how he's like otherworldly.
Yeah, but
I
he could have
kinda
got
wanna
some
get
cool
that
armor or
tracksuit.
something.
Could have done a lot of things.
Especially if he becomes her knight. Is he her knight now?
That's what he said, and now he's kind of earned it, to be honest.
Yeah. So he
Who
needs some.
knows?
He needs some
Well,
cool armor.
He's earned something, but he's not a knight.
He's definitely not a knight.
He's something, but it's not
he
a knight.
can
He's
be
a
her attendant
squire.
or her protector.
Yeah, he's definitely earned the
Combat
title
butler.
of protector.
He's a combat
He
butler.
doesn't have a formal kingdom title.
I
but
like combat butler. That's a good
He's a
title.
combat butler. Yeah.
No, he's earned the title of combat butler, but not knight. It's just totally something different.
Yeah.
I feel like the knights could make him a knight after the ending. He's done a lot.
I mean,
He could be an honorary knight after literally destroying the whale that has tormented them for like 400 years.
Yeah, he's got some brownie
Did he
points.
destroy it, or did he just help?
He helped, but without his plan and without his action on the battlefield, they wouldn't have won. He's also the one who recognized that there was one master whale and that they had to kill that one when they were all in despair.
okay,
Master
but can we talk
whale.
about the MVP of like every fight up till then and after that, or since the whales and after? Is the dude with the white hair? What's his name? With the wife,
Wilhelm?
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm.
Best boy?
Dude, he was the best. He was cool.
He's
Yeah,
alright.
He's my best boy.
He
He's
was
the-
all right.
The strong,
All
silent
right.
type. Like he's just strong and silent. Like he doesn't do much. He has
Yeah, I
a
love
sweet
that.
backstory, and that's it.
Doesn't he
Yeah,
train him
that's
how to use a
awesome.
sword? Am I crazy?
I mean,
No,
he
he did.
tried to, but it didn't work well.
Still taught him about sword fighting.
Not really, because
Takes
remember,
time.
there's
Yeah.
the whole thing where he's like, "I'm not really trying to get strong. This is just a cover," and all
He
that.
says, "You don't need to get strong. You just need to be strong," which was good. Which is good advice for him.
I don't know.
But he
Still
definitely he went off during that whale fight, though. I just enjoyed watching him completely run down the whale.
"Yeah,
Cutting
like
him
like,
up.
sword in the butt.
like if he wasn't around,
Taco-
that whale fight would have not have gone like it did. They would have lost hard
He
without.
took out his
Wilhelm.
eye. That was rough.
Also,
Like-
the whale battle, how Subaru treated Rem, like, during and after the whale battle is just like, oh, leave this poor girl, like, a little bit of dignity. Like, he totally leads her on like he loves her, and he doesn't.
Nah, she's
And
his
it's-
second wife in case his
I
first
know.
wife doesn't
He
pan
has-
out.
He
Totally
has the
fine,
gall.
right?
He literally has the gall to say that he has a number 1 and a number 2 in his heart. And I'm like, I will rip out your heart and I will stomp on it, and you will
Okay,
have no
Super's
one.
not a good person.
Yeah, that was a little bad.
That's what
Yeah.
makes him a good anime protagonist, is he isn't perfect.
You're my side girl.
But what's so sad is that you know she's gonna stay and be his side girl.
hmm
Side chick.
This is why.
Also,
okay.
she's way better than Amelia.
Of course she is.
We also don't really see Amelia do anything because she's gone half the time.
She's manic pixie dream girl.
Yeah, we don't know anything
She's
about
not
Amelia.
manic though.
Well, she's pixie girl. Pixie dream girl.
She's a spirit dream girl, spirit user. She
Yeah.
plays summoner in Final Fantasy 14.
I do enjoy how she kind of is confused by a lot of what Subaru does and says.
It's because he doesn't explain anything.
I know, but she's like, "What is that? What do you
What
mean?"
do you mean? What are
But
you
I
talking
think
about?
okay. I don't know if you guys are gonna agree, but I think Ram is much better than Rem.
Really?
You just like Cinderis?
What?
Yeah, she's super cool
You like Cinderis, yeah.
No.
Why do you like her?
And her hair's closer to red, so
because
Tim likes her more.
she's funny, and yeah, I like the red over the blue. And I don't know. I
Bobby
like
Sue.
that she is kind of bad at everything, but she's like pretends to be good.
I really like that
Isn't Ram
they
the good one?
I like that they completely switched. No, because Rom was the one who was amazing as a child.
Oh, yeah.
And then Rem wasn't good
Then she lost
at
her
anything.
horn.
But then when they're like adults, Rem is the one who's good at everything because she's trying so hard to be good like Rom used to be, and now Rom can't do anything.
She makes
She's
steamed
not good at all the house
potatoes.
stuff.
That's all she can do is make steamed potatoes.
I was thinking
Clearly,
throughout the
if you're an
whole show,
ogre
though.
and you lose your horn, you become bad at everything.
Well, I was thinking, like, so you see Rim totally kick ass in every fight she's in, right? Imagine
And then
if
eventually
Ram
die. Yep.
still had her horn. Imagine how crazy she'd be in fights.
And
That'd be
Ram can
insane.
still do some damage even without her horn. She can still do
Yeah.
some pretty awesome stuff.
Yeah, dude,
That's
imagine
great.
if she had her horn. That'd be, like, kind of a sick fight to watch.
Yeah.
Poor horn.
She still has
Talk
a little
about
bit
tragic
of magic
backstories.
ability.
Yeah, she can do her wind stuff. Did you guys I was like, when they destroyed the tree, I was like, oh no, y'all destroying the tree. Like this
Yeah.
very special tree that is supposed to be this like almost spiritual tree, and they just chop it down.
Okay, but
It'll
it
grow
worked.
back.
Yeah. No, I
It
mean they
worked,
had
though.
to. They had to. But like what if it didn't work?
That'd be
It's like,
kind of
oh.
embarrassing. I was also thinking that. I'm like, the whale's just gonna not get hit by the tree. They're
Yeah,
gonna
what
have
if
the
they
timing
missed?
off.
Like that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
That's what I
Well,
was thinking
then-
watching it.
They screwed up.
If it was more of a comedy, that's what would happen.
I don't think it's like really a spiritual tree though. Is
But
it?
that's how they like view it. It's like this icon in their world. Like it's
Yeah.
something that they respect.
It's like the equivalent of the Statue of
Old
Liberty.
trees here.
Yeah,
like
I
here.
thought it was the equivalent of like, you know, the Grand Canyon
Great
or something like
Redwoods.
that.
It's a landmark, an important landmark.
Yeah, okay.
It's a protected national park.
Yeah.
It's good that it fell the right way.
That'd
Have
be
you
awesome
chopped
if
down
the
a
tree
tree?
fell the wrong way. Or if they
I
like
just-
mixed up the whales and dropped it on one of the fake whales.
Oh yeah, if they dropped it in one of the illusion whales, that would have been so sad. Talk about a 1 in 3 chance.
They just left the whole body there and just took the head. Just like,
I
Talk
mean,
about
how
how
are
great
you
the
gonna
whale
take
is
it?
as like just an anti-person weapon.
I kind of felt bad for the whale at first when they were shooting
What?
it and it wasn't like attacking back.
Yeah,
It's the
just
whale.
it's Monster Hunter. Seriously though, Monster Hunter X ReZero N because I want to fight the whale.
If only I watched that show.
Monster Hunter's a game.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
There is
Monster
a show though.
Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter's great.
In addition to that whale fight, all the characters that were involved I thought was really cool and how they all kind of work together. Like the wolf guy who's a mercenary, he was cool.
Literally
Krush-
wasn't there for that.
I
Krush
didn't
was
really
awesome.
like Krush until that fight. And now I love Krush. She's my favorite.
Yes, best girl.
Ooh, let's do the opening and ending themes. One main
They're all
thing that
so
I noticed
good.
and I noticed about the show is that often there wouldn't really be an ending theme because they'd shove content right into the 25-minute.
Yes, it's very nice.
And they
It was-
still cut
it-
stuff.
It made for a lot of extra viewing time though. If you add 5 minutes to every episode, like it added a ton of content because they did that.
Yeah, it's more
Or
interesting.
better
They
or
still
worse.
use the songs as like.
I'm gonna be
themes.
honest, I didn't really watch any of the intros or outros except for the one where Puck chops his head off. And like I think maybe
Really
that
should've.
first intro. Look,
Second ending is so cute.
I finished this show with 19 minutes to spare until we recorded. So like I needed to skip them.
Understandable.
Did you guys like the opening theme?
Both of them.
Found it a little unsettling.
I think it wasn't super
Right is
memorable
also always
for
a
me.
win.
Yeah.
Like it was just kind of it was okay, I guess.
And our out of 10 ratings, Tim.
I was struggling to give it a rating because I was between a 7 and an 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I
Um,
am too. Tim and I are always the same.
Yeah, I know, but because okay, this anime does a lot of good stuff, but there's also a
Yeah.
lot of stupid stuff that kind of like annoys me at times.
Yeah.
But I think the good stuff outweighs that, and I just think overall it's enjoyable, and I really want to see the second season, so I'm going to have to stick with an 8.
Cool. As?
Yeah, I'm an 8. There's definitely a lot
Weebith?
of.
It's my top 5. So I'm gonna have to go and give it like a 9 maybe. That might be
Yeah?
a little high. That might be kind of high.
That's Haikyuu territory. Okay.
No, Haikyuu's a 10 out of 10.
What? Okay.
I don't know. What I give My Hero? Whatever I gave My Hero, like 0.5 less than My Hero.
I think you gave it an 8, didn't you?
Did I give My Hero an 8?
I said you give it a 9.
I don't know. It's good. I'll give it an 8.5.
Weeb scores are either really high or really low.
You gotta commit.
You can't do 0.5s.
Yeah, I gotta either really like a show or really hate a show. There's no in between for me, and I really loved this show.
So is it an 8 or is it a 9?
I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
You can't.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I'll give it a 9.
Already ordered his
I'm giving it a
body
9.
pillow, and he's on.
No, I got my Krush body pillow.
I don't know if they make those.
They should. And
Krush
also, I'm looking at my track
she
right
has
now, and that was
cool
so many
ability where
peaks.
she can tell if somebody's lying. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, she'd see like wind.
Wait, what about my rating out
What's
of
your
10,
rating,
you
Shauna?
guys?
Okay, I guess we can hear it.
Oh man, Shauna's gonna give it a 4.
Mine is I'm gonna give it an 8.
Wow,
because it's a really, really solid show, and like Tim said, a lot of annoying things happen, but it's within it's within the character's like scope. So just because it annoys me doesn't mean it's like bad writing, so I can accept it. I think it balances tone so incredibly, and there's really nothing quite like it. So I think it deserves an 8. It's pretty excellent.
Yes.
Hype for season 2.
Hype.
Yeah, when does that come out?
Unknown. Probably this year or next.
Oh, should we talk about the trailer then?
I haven't seen the trailer.
I haven't seen it. Tell me about it.
Well, it's pretty. It like picks up right where the first season ends off, I think.
Oh, good.
And the Subaru just is walking down this sea of bodies, like dead corpses, but it's like all sunny and bright out, and it's like open field, and he walks towards this like little tent area, and I didn't know who it was, but I guess the characters from the light novels, so it's somebody to do with the witch, but you should watch it.
Witch stuff.
Yes.
Stuff.
Similar show recommendations. There are so many isekais that we can recommend, but I'm going to go with Ixion Saga DT because I want everyone to watch it because it is a time and a half. I don't even know if I necessarily recommend this show. I just know that there's nothing quite like Ixion Saga DT, so I'm going to recommend it.
I actually do have a recommendation this time.
What could it be?
So I was watching this anime of this boy who gets dropped into the world of volleyball. And it's called Haikyuu. If you like this show, you'll love Haikyuu.
Perfect. Team? Or as? Either.
Okay, I guess I'll go. I don't know too many isekai shows, but when I was watching it, I was getting a lot of Seven Deadly Sins vibes.
Yeah.
So I would compare it to that and say, you should watch that, but it's not as good.
I don't think I've recommended Overlord yet, and it's part of the quartet, so you should go watch all three seasons of Overlord if you want a slightly different take on an isekai.
I have a question.
What's that?
What's the quartet?
The quartet? It's like a short series that basically the publishers who put out the ReZero light novels and like a couple other, and the Tanya ones, and Onitsuba and Overlord. It's
4 isekais, right?
Yeah. They're 4 different isekais that the same company publishes. They like contracted a studio to make like a short series where they all get put in school together.
Also, I think I recommend Log Horizon Season 1. I call it The Thinking Man's Sword Art Online. It's wonderful. It's good. It is so good. Log Horizon Season 1 is excellent.
Now to tell you all our email. As you all know, if you've been listening, it's failedsquared@nanoland.
No.
This bit will never die. This bit will
I
never
won't let it die.
This bit will never die. The actual one, we posted down in a little describe-y-do, but it's the AIR We Weeb @gmail.com. Please tell us how much you hate and or like the show, and our show, as well as the show we reviewed.
Yeah, only if you like it, though. Don't tell us if you hate it.
Also, if
comment
you're listening
who
to
your
this,
best girl is.
If you're listening to this on SoundCloud, please comment.
Yeah, please comment on SoundCloud.
We
really
love
want
to read them.
Yeah.
Or I do.
Also,
Shauna
if
hates
you...
it.
No, I love it.
Oh, you can also tweet at us at the AIR We Weeb.
Oh, yeah. Or just call me. I'm
And-
pretty sure everyone has my phone number at this point.
If you guys watch or listen to the podcast on Apple, you can leave us a review and a star rating if you like, and we would appreciate that.
Give
Yes,
us
we
anywhere
would.
from like 1 to 2 stars.
Yeah.
We want more stars than that.
So,
Okay.
hey, what are we reviewing next week?
Next week, we're doing Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. Yay!
Yay.
I
I
love
know
this
nothing
show.
about this one for once.
Me too.
I love this
as
show.
Always.
This is
It
the
is.
first I've heard of this show because I don't read the list.
Well,
It's a great comedy. Prepare yourselves for a good time.
Wait, what's it called again?
Laughs,
Monthly
fun,
Girls Nozaki-kun.
romance.
Also known as Gekken Shoujo Nozaki-kun.
Well, I have a question for Tim.
Heckin' shoujo.
what's
Tim,
up?
do you have a weeb word of the day?
Oh, I did, but you guys kind of already used it. But I'll say it again.
Wait, hold on. Doesn't Weeb need to give us what challenge he'll have this week instead?
Oh shoot!
Well, you
Oh,
can wait.
gosh. Hold on.
We're gonna
I'll-
kill Weeb and see if he resets.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Tim, you do your thing.
That's a good one.
Let me think of one.
That's too late. We've already told him we're gonna kill you and see if he resets.
I won't reset though.
We
Well,
don't
You
know
have
until
the
you
power.
try.
But you have the power of the boat army and anime
Wait,
on
when
your
is
side.
this? When is this airing? I might be shipped by the time this even comes out.
We'll ship him off to America. Oh,
I'm
wait.
in America.
Or wherever else. We can't disclose where we're shipping him off to, actually.
Let's say I'm not shipped. If this gets 30 more listens than the last episode,
30? Oh,
yeah,
man.
30. I will. Fuck.
Hey Tim, you got a weeb word
yeah,
of the day
you
for
say
us?
the weeb word while I'll think of something.
Just comment what you want him to do. We'll make him do them all.
No.
Well, I don't know. My word was isekai, which obviously means another world.
Whoa.
So,
Perfect.
but we have already talked about it a lot. But
That's okay though.
now you
There's
people
so many
know.
isekais. There's so many isekais. We're gonna review
Yeah,
them
I hear
all
it's
eventually.
really popular genre now.
Yeah,
Did you
went-
come up
I
with
think
something?
Gate
If
also
this
was during
gets 30
ReZero's.
more listens than the last episode, I will do a 24-hour stream of no, not of me in it. I probably won't even be around for most of it. But I will have Baby by Justin Bieber playing on a 24-hour loop in my house.
Well, you have to be like listening to it. We have to see you on webcam listening to it.
I will not be in my house for 24 hours straight ever.
That doesn't conflict
That
with
doesn't
Twitch's
happen.
terms of service.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Twitch would get pissed about
You-
that
Why would they get pissed about that?
because it's copyright, isn't it? Like
No,
I'm
you'll be
playing.
You
fine.
can
The
use
VOD will
music.
probably be muted, but yeah, I literally watched a stream of someone listening to Creeper by Captain Sparkles the other day as
Okay.
part of his sub goal punishment.
Okay. How about this? Instead of, I will have a 6-hour stream of me listening to Baby by Justin Bieber.
And he'll sing along the entire time.
I will not do that.
And that's where I'm gonna cut it, so no one will stop me.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for listening.
We do a really good job at the silence, you guys.
Why don't we just have a podcast where we're quiet the whole time?
I mean, we're
ASMR
really
quiet.
good at it.
I'd be down.
Guys, let's do that.
We should ship
All right,
out
guys.
Sounds like a good idea.
We have a different kind of podcast for y'all today. Today we're
Yeah.
just not gonna talk. Just
Yeah.
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 not.